Hello, everybody. Welcome to Plain Mundane Show. Today, we're going to tell a little bit of story about a world where a lot of people lived, and there were three groups of people led by three animals that led that world. There was a bear, there was a dragon, and there was an eagle. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, in general, when you refer to the bear, that is Russia, the Russian Empire. You could call it back to the parts of the Ottoman, the Khazarian, Tartarian now empires. If you look at the dragon, you're looking at Eurasia, Pacific, Asian tigers. If you look at the eagle represents today, of course, the United States, the military of the world, the Western Euro-American culture, mostly of the northern hemisphere, but with its talons in the southern hemisphere, or hemisplane, whichever way you think. So let's go ahead and read this. This is about the dealings with these three animals and their little habitat. And so what we're going to read is The Eagle, the Bear, and the Dragon by Pepe Escobar. This is May 6, 2019, from the Consortium News website, from the Spanish version and the Italian versions, which means the translation may have some words missing. I haven't read it. The eagle has conveniently forgotten that the original ancient Silk Road linked the dragon with the Roman Empire for centuries, with no interlopers outside of Eurasia, muses Pepe Escobar. Now, if you don't know, the ancient Silk Road, that's the one that goes outside of Egypt, Palestinian area, and then goes east over the, toward Persia. That's the Silk Road. Jesus went down the Silk Road before he was 30. Once upon a time, deep into the night, in the selected campfires across the deserts of Southwest Asia, I used to tell a fable about the eagle, the bear, and the dragon, much to the amusement of my Arab and Persian interlocutors, the other speakers. It was about how, in the young 21st century, the eagle, the bear, and the dragon had taken their furry gloves off and engaged in what turned out to be Cold War 2.0. As we approach the end of the second decade of this already incandescent century, perhaps it's fruitful to upgrade the fable. With all due respect to Jean de La Fontaine, excuse me while I kiss the desert sky again. Hendrix reference, that's cool. I sing that song. Long gone are the days when a frustrated bear repeatedly offered to cooperate with the eagle and its minions on a burning question: nuclear missiles. The bear repeatedly argued that the deployment of interceptor missiles and radars in that land of the blind leading the blind, Europe, was a threat. The eagle repeatedly argued that this is to protect us from those rogue Persians. Now the eagle, claiming the dragon is getting an easy ride, has torn down every treaty in sight and is bent on deploying nuclear missiles in selected eastern parts of the land of the blind leading the blind, Europe, essentially targeting the bear. Look at that statue of that dragon. That's from a place, I can't even read the name of this, Ljubljana, a Dragon Bridge. Is that in China? Is that a town near Big River, China? All that glitters is silk. Roughly 2 decades after what top bear Putin defined as the greatest geopolitical catastrophe of the 20th century, he proposed a form of USSR Light, a political economic body called the Eurasian Economic Union. Urine. Piss on that. The idea was to have the EAEU interact with the EU. The top institution of the motley crew congregated as the blind leading the blind. The eagle not only rejected the possible integration, it came up with the modified color revolution scenario to unplug Ukraine from the EAEU. Even earlier than that, the eagle had wanted to set up a new Silk Road under its total control. The eagle had conveniently forgotten that the original ancient Silk Road linked the dragon with the Roman Empire for centuries, with no interlopers outside of Eurasia. So one can imagine the eagle's stupor when the dragon erupted on the global stage with its own supercharged new Silk Roads, upgrading the bear original idea of a free trade area from Lisbon to Vladivostok to a multi-connectivity corridor, terrestrial and maritime, from eastern China to western Europe and everything in between, spanning the whole of Eurasia. The bear. Facing this new paradigm, the bear with the dragon. Facing this new paradigm, the blind, well, remained blind for as long as anyone could remember. They simply could not get their act together. The eagle, meanwhile, was incrementally raising the stakes, what amounted for all practical purposes to a progressively weaponized encirclement of the dragon. There's a bear postage stamp from Russia from 1964, the white polar bear. The eagle made a series of moves that amount to inciting nations bordering the South China Sea to antagonize the dragon while repositioning an array of toys, nuclear submarines, aircraft carriers, fighter jets, closer and closer to the dragon's territory. All the time, what the dragon saw and continues to see is a battered eagle trying to muscle its way out of an irreversible decline by trying to intimidate, isolate, and sabotage the dragon's irreversible ascent back to where it has been for 18 of the past 20 centuries, enthroned as the king of the jungle. A key vector is that Eurasia-wide players know that under the new laws of the jungle, the dragon simply can't and won't be reduced to the status of a supporting actor. And Eurasia-wide players are too smart to embark on a Cold War 2.0 that will undermine Eurasia itself. The eagle's reaction to the dragon's new silk strategy took some time to swing from inaction to outright demonization, complementing the joint description of both the dragon and the bear as existential threats. And yet, for all the spinning crossfire, Eurasia-wide players are not exactly impressed anymore with an eagle empire armed to its teeth, especially after the eagle's crest was severely damaged by failure hunting in Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, and Syria. Eagle aircraft carriers patrolling the eastern part of the Mare Nostrum, our seas, are not exactly scaring the bear. The Persians, the Syrians. There's an eagle subduing a bear into submission. A giant eagle. A reset between the eagle and the bear was always a myth. It took some time and much financial distress for the bear to realize there won't be any reset, while the dragon only saw a reset toward open confrontation. After establishing itself slowly but surely as the most advanced military power on the planet with hypersonic know-how, the bear came to a startling conclusion. We don't care anymore about what the eagle says or does. Meanwhile, the dragon kept expanding inexorably across all Asian latitudes as well as Africa, Latin America, even across the unemployment-infested pastures that the austerity hit, blind leading the blind. Europe. The dragon is firmly assured that, if cornered to the point of resorting to a nuclear option, it holds the power to make the eagle's staggering deficit explode, degrade its credit rating to junk, and wreak havoc in the global financial system. No wonder the eagle, under an all-enveloping paranoid cloud of cognitive dissonance, feeding state propaganda 24/7 to its subjects and minions, keeps spewing out lava like a raging volcano, dispensing sanctions to a great deal of the planet, entertaining regime change, wet dreams, launching a total strategy embargo against the Persians, resurrecting the war on Terra, on Earth, aiming to punish like a bat out of intel hell any journalist, publisher, or whistleblower revealing its inner machinations. So it hurts so bad to admit that the political economic center of a new multipolar world will be Asia, actually Eurasia. As the eagle got more and more threatening, the bear and the dragon got closer and closer in their strategic partnership. Now both bear and dragon have too many strategic links across the planet to be intimidated by the eagle's massive empire of bases or those periodic coalitions of somewhat reluctant, willing. That's a conglomeration of the bear and the dragon together, a mythical creature, a mythical political creature. To match comprehensive, in progress Eurasia integration, of which the new Silk Roads are the graphic symbol. The eagle's fury unleashed has nothing to offer except rehashing a war against Islam, coupled with weaponized cornering of both the bear and the dragon. Then there's Persia, those master chess players. The eagle has been gunning for the Persians ever since they got rid of the eagle's proconsul, the Shah, in 1979. And this after the eagle, in perfidious Albion, had already smashed democracy to place the Shah who made Saddam look like Gandhi in power in 1953. The eagle wants all that oil and natural gas back. Not to mention, a new Shah is the new gendarme of the Persian Gulf. The difference is now the bear and the dragon are saying, no way. What is the eagle to do? Set up the false flag to end all false flags? This is where we stand now, and once again we reach the end. Though not the end game, there's still no moral to this revamped fable. We continue to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. What is that from? Is that from the Spear Shaker? Shakespeare? Francis Bacon? Our only slim hope is that a bunch of hollow men, obsessed by the second coming, won't turn Cold War 2.0 into Armageddon. The prophecy to the bear, the eagle, and the dragon. Daughter prophecy to the bear, the eagle, and the dragon. To the bear, the shrewd warrior, you are prepared. You have aligned your friends. You have stepped to the front, placed your warriors in areas to best serve your purpose. You are the strongest prophecy. To the eagle, you have forgotten the lessons of the past. You have not locked your gates. Your enemies will use this opportunity to cause chaos inside your borders. You are the weakest prophecy to the dragon. You have worked in the night. You have friended the bear in secret. You are the most dangerous. The peoples of the world have no idea what you have been planning for them. So right now, your own people cry day and night. To me, my voice will echo like thunder. My footsteps will break the lands into pieces. Behold, a war is coming to you, and the bear, the eagle, and the dragon will march. Can you hear the drums? That kind of sounded like a rebuke over the eagle, didn't it? All right. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming to Plain Mundane Show. And just wait until I post another video. Please hit like, subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.